Thank you, Dr. Sunil, for inviting me to the 4th ICAPS conference at Goa. I'm really sorry that I'm not able to be there, but I'm happy that I'm doing this virtual presentation on drama and empathy in the classroom. We all know that a classroom is not 4 walls, desks and benches and chairs and a blackboard. There is human emotion in the classroom. There are 40 children and a teacher, so there are 41 human beings in a classroom. This factor is very important in understanding the teaching, learning process, whatever we teach. I remember a film, To Serve with Love. Sidney Poitier plays the teacher. He understands every student in his classroom. He reacts and responds to everyone. This is where I think the teachers need some drama training. A teacher connects himself with the whole class, with every student, like an actor in theater. An actor connects with the person in the front row and the person at the far end, sitting in the balcony. He makes an eye contact with everybody. He smiles, he frowns, he giggles, he laughs, and he claps. He appreciates, he acknowledges the presence of every person in the audience. Like that, the teacher has to respond to every student in his classroom, acknowledge the presence of every people. And these people, before coming to the class, have had a moment. That is also very important. India is known for the glorious teachers. And some of our epics have been talking about the teacher-student relationship. This is Parashuram, a great teacher. He taught Karna, and he understood what Karna is capable of and the real strength of Karna. In my play, Hey Parashuram, I record a moment when Parashuram realizes that the real strength of Karna is giving to people. And that is what Karna is known for, and that's what made him a real hero, not his bravery in the battlefield. Similarly, we have Dronacharya, another great teacher. What I really like about Dronacharya is that Dronacharya understood the potential of every student. He taught all the 100 Kuru brothers and the 5 Pandava brothers. He realized that what each one is capable of and made him excel in that. For instance, there was no point in teaching Yudhishthira about archery or any other method of war. He taught him the Shastras, the Vedas, the scriptures, and he taught Arjun archery. He taught Bhim fighting with his strength, the physical strength. And he taught the younger brothers, Nakul and Sahadev, horse riding, taking care of the horses, and astronomy. This is what a teacher does. A teacher helps the student to realize his full potential in a particular field. There is no point in, as Einstein said, teaching the fish to climb a tree. We talked about the teacher connecting with the students physically and emotionally. Empathy requires that you understand what another person feels. You find a boy coming into the classroom limping. You would definitely stop what you have been doing and say, "What happened? What happened to you?" He is bleeding. It's not enough you know that he fell down and he has injured himself, and you say, there if you stop, there is only sympathy. But if you stop what you have been doing and give him first aid, wash his wounds, put a medicine or an ointment and put a cotton on top of it and put a band-aid over it, then there is empathy. The difference between sympathy and empathy is that an action, empathy is an action, requires an action. Empathy is a verb. Sympathy is a noun. You need to act when you understand what another person feels. And once you understand, then you have to act on it. You see somebody sitting lonely in a park, in a bench, crying. You are on your morning walk. You see the person crying. If you continue with your morning walk, maybe you are healthy, but if you stop by, sit down, and touch his shoulder and say, "May I help you? Do you want something? Can I fetch you some glass of water?" That is empathy. If you simply go walking by telling yourself, "I don't know what happened to that man, poor man, why is he crying?" There is simply sympathy. The difference between sympathy and empathy has to be understood in this context. Every student in your classroom comes into your class with moments before. What you witnessed just now is a theater exercise called the moment before. So you have to guess what happened to me. I have changed my shirt. I came running into the room with some gestures and actions. Come on, guess. Do you know what happened to me? Maybe you can. I got stung by bees and I was trying to drive them away. And my earlier shirt was full of the bee stings, so I had to change my clothes. Now, this is called the moment before. What we often see is only the moment. Somebody is crying, somebody is sad, somebody is laughing in the classroom, or somebody is giggling in the classroom. We see only that action. We don't see the moment before. What happened to somebody who is laughing in the classroom, who is distracting others in the classroom? I know it's a bad thing to be giggling, but nobody giggles for no reason. Nobody laughs for no reason. He probably recalled a funny incident. It might be a good practice to stop and ask, come on, let us share the laughter. What happened? I know it's very difficult. You have the heavy responsibility of teaching a subject within 40 minutes or 45 minutes, and you are burdened with the responsibility of completing a syllabus, a given task in those 45 minutes. But I think it doesn't happen every day. It's good to stop and ask, what happened? Or try and find out the reason for the laughter, the reason for giggling or being sad in the classroom. So theater exercise, the moment before, will help you to connect with your students. Simon Baron-Cohen of Cambridge University, in his article Mind Blindness, talks about lack of empathy. He doesn't specifically talk about lack of empathy in the classroom, but what he says about lack of empathy could very well be applied in the classroom. He suggests the mirror neuron hypothesis for lack of empathy among children or young adults or adults and elderly people. What we often say about the generation gap, I don't understand what my son thinks or daughter thinks. I don't understand what my spouse thinks, very well applies to the teacher-student relationship as well. Baron-Cohen suggests that the pretend play, imitation, or some of the exercises that can enhance empathy in human beings. You find a child going back from the school into his home. He finds the mother lying down, moaning, crying, or just moaning. The child, if he does not stop by, throw his school bag away and ask his mother, or sits by the side of the mother and say, Mom, what's happening? What's wrong? If he doesn't give her a pat or a touch and offer to say, Mom, shall I get you something? Do you need any medicines? Shall I get you a cup of tea? I think the school and the teacher has failed in the job of bringing up a human being into the universe. There is also what is known as self-empathy. I need to understand what I feel at a particular moment and then communicate to others what I feel. I think it was Robert Frost once, he said that no tears in the writer, no tears in the reader. So is the case with an actor. The actor goes through a moment, rehearses it, plays it again and again, and then plays before the audience. Then you say, wow, beautiful, touching. So there has to be a self-empathy. To have self-empathy, I need to connect my body with my feelings. Why do I sink in a chair? Why do I feel low now? Why do I feel very high now? What makes me very happy? Is it the poem I wrote this morning? Or what makes me very happy? The phone call just a few minutes ago from someone who loves me? Now, this understanding of why I'm happy, why I'm sad, why am I laughing, we need to teach our students. My body expands when I'm happy. My body shrinks when I'm sad, when I'm low. Let our students, our classroom be a space for understanding our feelings, our emotions,